get involved! Everybody get involved! Skate into the fucking beat! Title track off the 12-inch, In My Way! Let's go! Everybody! Do it! Want to see through the light, now I realize like a spy. The list of bullshit comes running on. Lies in, by the scum I never know. Trapped in the world of the rest and close to. You know it! It's all I come to know. Can't get myself out, my will through. My hate. We lie to the world tonight, so that's what they say. Might as well just start the fight. I say I'm a dog, as instead. Keep like when I get in the way. So it's always trying to fuck that up. Think I'm at the grave I lay. Then telling myself enough. Try to see it clear as time goes on. And I think to myself, it's all just a play. All the love, all the people are gone. But I gotta still do it. Fuck this place up. You're in my fucking. For motherfucking Bulldoze. Rip it, all just a play. I'll do it my own way. Thanks a lot, we're home.
Conditioned by indoctrination, conditioned by society. You're a victim of the digital age, a 21st century casualty. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Conditioned by misinformation, it's just the media telling us lies. Decipher fiction from the truth. Society's slow and tragic demise. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Everyone's got their fucking opinion.
What's happening? What's up? Coming in hot after the Freddie Madball, Roger Moret, Will Shepler, Matt Henderson show. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Fuck this place up. I'm intrigued by this concept. Fuck this place up. Does it literally mean like, fuck this place up? Like, let's fuck this place up? So we never do shows here again? Or does it mean like, dance and have a good time? Fuck this place up. Is it to be taken literally? Fuck each other up? Fuck this place up. It's like, yo, when we do a show down at the Bowery, like, yo, don't fuck this place up, you know? Like, we like doing shows here, you know? We'll have to ask our guest today. I'm intrigued by this concept. Fuck this place up. Don't fuck this place up. And don't fuck each other up too much either, because that could lead to problems. Maybe it's a state of mind. Maybe fuck this place up is a state of mind. Oh, okay. Get wild in the pit, I would say. Okay. Yeah. That's a good one. Jamie Jasta used to say, let the prison riot begin. That's funny. All right, that's funny. Any other thoughts on this, gang? Chris Golis, what's up? Polish Power. Yep. Hey, John, what's happening? Good to see you, man. Sean McNally, my man up in Boston. Fuck this place up. Speaking of fucking this place up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Lori Dawn.
I was about to fuck this place up.
Yo, fuck this place up. You know?
The only thing that would happen is I would fuck my back up.
Fuck this place up.
Yeah. It was a rallying cry, though, you know?
I'm intrigued by this concept.
Yeah.
We're gonna delve deep into it today. You know?
Yes, deep.
Fuck this place up. Fuck this place up. Fuck each other up. You know? I love it.
Hey, Michelle Monona.
Yeah.
See you out there.
Hey, B.
Yeah.
You got,
be a good one today.
You got an exciting weekend coming up, huh?
I do have an exciting weekend. Yeah. I'm gonna fuck that place up.
And tell us about what's going on. You know what? Let's start. Let's start with this. Yeah. Speaking of fucking this place up, what's going on with this? The donut meetup.
Yes, the donut meetup. Okay, so Women of the Pit are heading out to Camp Pennsylvania in beautiful Gilbert, Pennsylvania this weekend. This is a festival hosted by Riot Squad Media that we absolutely love. This is our third year going. A lot of our friends are playing this year. We've got Soji and Rebelmatic and Car Bomb Parade, you know, all coming back. So yeah, we're really excited. And a new band playing this year is also World of Chaos, which is Gabe from Kids in the Pit. Maybe some people have seen his podcast. So we have teamed up with Kids in the Pit this year, and we are going to do a fun donut social on Saturday morning before, you can fuel up before you fuck shit up. And come get a free donut, meet some people, meet some fellow campers. We're going to be giving away some free cooling towels while supplies last, because it is going to be hotter than hell there this weekend. You can also make your own pin, and it's just going to be like a fun little way to start the day. It starts at 11 o'clock. It goes till 12:30, right up to the time that World of Chaos takes the stage right across the way from where we are. So,
fuck this place up.
Yep. Before we fuck this place up. Yeah.
Speaking of Camp Pennsylvania, and it is Wednesday, and we like to ambush our audience with special guests whenever possible. Please welcome our good friend Mike McGran from Channel 3. What's up, buddy?
I'm here.
What's up?
Not much, man. It was this is a real treat seeing you again so close after Punk Rock Bowling. That was a blast, huh?
That was awesome, man. And you've always said, like, you guys got to play Punk Rock Bowling, and
it is mind blowing, isn't it? How many bands are really playing there? 500. I mean, besides the festival, besides the club shows, I mean, every restaurant bar has got bands going all day. It's crazy, right?
Yeah. You. When people ask me, how is Punk Rock Bowling? My stock answer is, it's everything we hoped it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, incredible to think that it's 25 years on. And, I just got to congratulate the Stern brothers.
Yeah.
Because truly, it did just start as a little bowling weekend for, the local bands and labels. Maybe there's probably 90 people there the first weekend or something. And it's grown into a world festival.
How many times do you think Channel 3 has played Punk Rock Bowling in 25 years? 5?
At least 5. We kept our bowling team going for 12 years straight. I mean, we'd bowl regardless, so we'd be there, So, we've been on the main stage, we've been on the club shows, we've been on the pre-shows, everything. So,
Sure. So you guys are coming to the East Coast this weekend, and you're playing Camp Punks, right?
Yeah, we're really excited for this because we just hear great things about this festival, and we actually talked to a few people in Vegas that were familiar with the event, and it just sounds like the festival itself is just one aspect of it. The whole camping and campfire and up till dawn singing around the campfire thing that's happened as well.
Yes, it's going to be my 3rd year. We don't camp, but but it's really a great festival atmosphere that really is very grassroots, you know.
They offered us a camping spot. We're like, look, hey, I'm a 64-year-old man. I'll be down the Hamptons.
Yeah.
I'll be down the Hampton Inn, and I'm going to come see you kids. You know.
And of course,
same.
and of course, we took advantage of the opportunity that you guys are coming for this to get you in on Sunday. You're playing one of our free all ages Sunday matinees at the Bowery on Sunday.
Couldn't miss it. You know,
it's going to be great.
It's another honor to you keep the Sunday matinee tradition going. And I mean, if you recall, the last time they switched it over to Berlin at the last minute, so this will be our first time ever playing Bowery Electric.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking just before about this show, and I'm really excited about it, and it's because we're not playing. You know, it's like no, seriously, it's like a lot of these shows. It's really difficult to produce the show. Me and Larry Kelly put all this work into the pre-production. I'm there early. We're getting everything together. You know, I'm doing the Bill Graham thing, and then it's time to play. And then I got to jump up there and be like, yeah. And then as soon as it's over, I got to get right back up and introduce the next band. And it's really enjoyable when we're not playing, and I can watch bands and hang out and socialize and really enjoy the moment. So I'm excited about it.
That's great. Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. You know, always a blast.
For sure. And so yeah, East Coast this weekend, Channel 3 playing Camp Punksylvania in Gilbert, PA on Saturday.
Yep.
And the Bowery Electric on Sunday. And of course, Lori Dawn will be at Camp Punks the whole event, and be hosting the
Donut Social.
And so there you go. Meet new friends, eat yummy treats, make your own pin, and fuck shit up.
Yeah, and actually grab a cooling towel. You're going to need it.
Grab a free cooling towel.
We're going to be right by the new cooling down section that they're building. So there's going to be some kind of like a cooling area there, which is really going to be well needed. So, but it's going to be great. You're going to have, Mike, you're going to have an amazing time. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
Really cool.
Well,
what time are you guys rolling in? Do you know?
Into the festival, or we'll be in Friday night. We fly in, so we should be bright and early on Saturday, and I'll be in line.
Well, stop by for a donut. You know,
I will be in line. You had me a donut.
You had me a donut.
I gotta tell you, these donuts are gonna be they're gonna be handmade that morning. I think by some Amish bakery, some Amish place. We're getting them picked up and driven in. So yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna fuck those donuts up. Okay.
Is this the Amish bakery?
I'm gonna fuck
you
it
have
up.
Donuts? We need a bunch of donuts. Put them on that horse and carriage cart and get your ass over to Camp Punksylvania. Bring us all the donuts you have. ASAP.
Exactly, and this is all organized.
Whip that horse's ass and get the fuck over here and fuck shit up.
This is all organized by Brooke, Gabe's mom, Gabe from World of Chaos. Gabe is, I don't know if you know this, Mike, but Gabe is a 13-year-old kid with his own band, World of Chaos, all original music, and this kid recorded it in his bedroom, played all the instruments.
Yeah.
You got to check them out. They're playing at 12:30. Right after the Donut Social. You got to check them out.
Oh, we'll be there.
They're incredible.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Mike, what can I say? Looking forward to seeing you in a couple days. Text me if you guys need anything. You know, we got you covered. You guys are our brother band out in California. So you come here and we take care of you, man.
We can't wait to be out there. So we will see all you out there on Sunday.
See you soon, Mike.
That's good.
All right. See ya.
Hey, do you know that Stephen Messina is a part of this skateboard art show that's going on out in Babylon
This is incredible. Yeah, this is incredible what's going on here at the Christensen Gallery in Babylon. I've been watching this. I've been dying to get to this gallery. This is the place where Mike Gallo had a solo show.
Oh, right.
Ernie did a show out there. And they're bringing all these artists together again for this incredible skateboard art show. Steven Messina, Mike Gallo, I think Chris Robots Will Kill will be doing. Maybe I'm making that up. I don't know, but I think there's a lot of artists. Go on to Christensen Gallery IG, and you'll see them all. This is going to be really cool.
Right on.
It's going to be really cool, and I'm really happy for Steven that he got in there and he's getting his own board.
Good.
So, June 20th.
June 20th.
No, July 20th. July 20th, maybe.
Is it? It is June 20th.
Oh,
no,
June 20th.
It's Saturday.
Okay.
It says June. It says June 20th.
Right.
But that can't be. Hey, Steven, is this another one of your classic flyers that actually that June 20th?
Tell us the date. Oh, this Friday.
This Friday.
Awesome. This Friday.
All right, this Friday. Okay, well done.
My event's messed up.
Well done, Steven.
Sorry. So this Friday, get out to Babylon, the Christensen Gallery. It's going to be really, really cool.
Hey, just real quick, we're not going to see you this weekend, but next weekend, we got this event up in Boston. Incendiary Devices playing at the Brighton Music Hall with Tree and a couple others, and it happens to be my birthday. And you're going to be up there, Women of the Pit, and Larry Kelly, and the whole gang, Rich Zola, Steven Messina, the Phonic Rochelle, and
Wendy. Yes, we'll all be up there.
So if anybody's up in the New England, and if anyone is up, that's right. Ray Hogan will be there. If anybody is up in the New England area, please come through. Lori Dawn will be at the merch table, and we will be playing the loud, fast, old school hardcore music. Fuck shit up. So fuck shit up. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Talk to you soon.
Nice place. All right, cool.
Thanks.
Thank you. Over and out.
That's right. This is it. This is what you signed up for. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, and we are sponsored by the Texas Silver Rush, DTFM Vinyl Distro, Generation Records, Mad Vintage, Women of the Pit, Candle Witch Co., and 126 Hardcore Clothing. They're a streetwear brand for restless individuals who don't compromise. They're about being positive, spontaneous, and true to yourself. For years, they experimented with several printing methods and materials and collaborated with a large number of designers and illustrators, always giving room for fresh perspectives while retaining the hardcore attitude. Get in touch with them. Ramp up your weak-ass clothing game at www.126clothing.com. Come on now, Candle Witch Co. is a female-owned entrepreneur business based out of Connecticut. Owner Rachel King Keys handcrafts soy wax candles set with intentions for your sanctuaries. She has accomplished a life goal dream since beauty school, debuting her artist showcase Hotties and Hellions that features live bands, burlesque, sideshow acts, vendors, food trucks, and this year, a live auction with all proceeds going to the mental health program Punk Rock Saves Lives. Catch her in the tri-state area doing her thing, slinging candles at events, and keep an eye out for her show coming to New York in the spring of 2026. You can find her on Etsy and on Instagram at Candle Witch Co. That said, let's clear the deck. What the heck? And let's bring our guest on. Everything okay? All right, good. Suck it up, soldier. Here we go. Yo, you know something? Oh, I was going to say, the next fucking person that sends me a message while the show's going on is going to be blocked from my life. You know? Let's see. Okay. That said, let's bring on today's guest. Today's guest is a Polish-American guitarist hailing from the Garden State of New Jersey. He's known for his work with the bands Retribution, Train of Thought, Homicidal, Zero Trust, Hold My Own, and of course the highly influential Beatdown pioneers, fuck shit up, Bulldoze. Please welcome, coming at us from Matawan, New Jersey, Mr. Mike Milewski. Hey, man.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Doing good, doing good.
What's happening in Matawan?
It's a lot of sun and a lot of nothing, which I like.
But you know what? You're a pretty busy guy. Between playing in Bulldoze and Hold My Own, I see that kind of you got a busy summer, right?
Yeah, it's pretty loaded. And but what else are you gonna do if I'm home? I just get put to work. So
yeah,
I'd rather be not home.
That makes sense. Let's bounce the ball back and forth a little bit. And hey, thank you, Whitney. I appreciate it. Appreciate the congrats on my wedding. So thank you. It was quite the circus, Before we get into it, what's a good way of saying this other than, does anybody out there, does anybody, speaking of Matawan, New Jersey, do you know there was how do I even say this, a shark attack in Matawan, New Jersey? 5 people got killed in Matawan, New Jersey. Shark or sharks. This is I'm surprised no one's ever made a movie about that incident.
Well, it was I think Jaws was inspired by the events that happened in New Jersey, Matawan in particular. What's also funny is during Shark Week, I'll see signs posted in Matawan about Shark Week. So it's I'm too soon.
Right.
Because I'm sure there's still people living here that are related to the people who were killed. Maybe. But it's always not this town, guys. Don't do Shark Week in this town. Come on.
Right. It's still it's like pulling the Band-Aid off,
Yeah.
And don't you live right near? Is it the Matawan Creek? It's called.
Yeah. I forget, but it's I think it's maybe Lake Effers or whatever. But it's it's right in my backyard. I'm just all right.
Yeah. If anybody's ever not heard of this, look it up. Put in Matawan, New Jersey shark attack. It is a crazy story because apparently the shark or sharks or whatever actually, swam inland into, in an estuary and went and attacked some kids swimming in a fishing hole. Crazy shit. Anyway, onto something a little more positive. How did you come up? Did you grow up in a musical household? How did music come into your life?
Yeah, so growing up, I grew up in Irvington. Actually, the Bulldoze was kind of based out of Irvington, and all the other projects were based out of Irvington as well. And Irvington is it's not exactly maybe a few lifetimes ago it was a great place to live, but it sure as fuck wasn't when I was living there. And, it probably still isn't now, but when I was growing up in the early mid '80s, rap was very big. So I was basically really into rap back then.
Were you born there? Weren't you born?
I was born in Poland.
You were born in Poland. Do you have any? Where in Poland?
It's called Białystok, which is northeastern, close to the Belarus border, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, it's northeast Poland.
Do you have any Poland memories as a young person before you came to the States?
Yeah, I remember quite a lot of Poland actually. I remember I guess I have various different images and memories. I remember going to school. I remember riding my little bicycle. I remember there just being a lot of snow. I remember having my mother used to make my own clothing because we didn't really have money. So and plus Poland at that time, post-war, whatever communist, whatever the problem was, You couldn't really go and buy stuff. So a lot of times you had to kind of make your own stuff.
Sure.
So my mother used to make me my winter clothing. So I'd like walk around with like just patches of various fabrics, and I just but I do remember that. I remember staying up watching my mother be up late at night sewing clothes together for me to wear to school. I do remember a lot, and actually my parents were always very surprised at how much I remembered. And I would tell them in great detail what the house looked like. So I guess I just had a really good memory of my childhood there, because I really enjoyed it. And I remember being on farms as well. We spent a lot of time in farms over there. So yeah.
How old were you when your family moved to the States?
I was 5.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think we all have. I mean, for the most part, right? I have some memories, pre-5. And for those that may not know, Chris Gullis, drummer extraordinaire, is your cousin.
Yes, he actually played a very pivotal role of where I am today, and the bands that we're part of. Actually, I'll tell that story too. So I was really into like Run DMC and Fat Boys. In fact, me and Chris, we were the Fat Boys one year for Halloween. And no, we didn't do blackface or anything, but it's we stuffed pillows underneath our shirts. We had really just bling looking glasses, and we were just like kind of just like singing or rapping like some of their songs.
Uh-huh.
How
old were you guys at the time?
This was probably like 3rd grade, whatever old you are in 3rd grade. Yeah. So and what's funny was like he was the only person in our school that liked like heavy metal. And
Chris was.
Chris. Yeah, he was the only guy.
Sure.
And I remember thinking like how could you be into this kind of stuff? You know what I mean? Because I just didn't have exposure to it. I knew nothing about it. And I was at a flea market one day, and I bought a bunch of tapes for him because like there was like Iron Maiden, Van Halen, some other stuff. And my mother just took forever at the flea market, so I always just went back to the car and just like listened to the radio. And I remember like the tape that I bought him, I was staring at the cover. It was the first album with Paul Di'Anno.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up. Keep going.
Yeah, so it was the very first album, and it was Eddie, like the zombie looking face, and I was just mesmerized. I was like, this is so wrong, but I was like, I kind of like it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And so eventually, I was like, well, let me put this into the tape deck because I want to hear how anybody could like this kind of stuff. And it just so happened to be that the tape was queued up to the song called Transylvania, which was a instrumental. And I've never heard any music like this ever in my life. This was like my first time, and it was like I was like just like blown away by how different this was and cool sounding. And I remember I just sat there for hours. Yep, that's the one. I just sat there for hours, just hitting rewind, play, rewind, play, rewind, play. And eventually, I think I must have spent hours. I got home and I did it the same. And so eventually, I asked Chris. I was like, "What is this? What am I hearing?" I was like, "What are they using to make these sounds?" Once again, I'm in 3rd grade.
So as a young person, you couldn't really differentiate like this is guitar, this is bass. You weren't sure what's what.
Yeah, because I had no idea. Because back then there was no internet. There was
sure.
Like there was like how many channels were on TV. It was nothing like today.
Yeah.
So there was no MTV. Well, I think MTV kind of came around that time, but I didn't know. At that point, 3rd grade, I had no idea. So Chris told me, he was like, "Yeah, that's a guitar." I was like, "Well, I want to do that." So I was like, "I want to get a guitar." So I told my parents, "I want to get a guitar because I want to do, like what I heard them doing." And my parents were like, "Oh, no. You have to be a lawyer. You have to be a doctor. Don't waste your time with this music, blah, blah, blah."
Now let me just ask. I'm assuming, coming from a bit of a traditional Polish family, your parents were not. That wasn't even in their universe. Like music, no.
No. I think that I from my Asian friends, I hear about like how the parents or the tiger moms, they like, unless you become filthy rich as a lawyer or doctor, like you're wasting your time. And I think that the Polish parents are similar to that. Like you've got to, like don't pursue your dreams. You got to go make money.
That's
That
right.
was that
old,
was
old school.
yeah. So my parents were just like, no. So Chris was the guy that actually gave me my first guitar for Christmas.
Chris says, I think they hated me for that.
Oh, they still hate you for that. They never supported this. My mother still thinks I'm wasting my time.
Right.
But whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So then I moved to a different school. I used to go to a school in Irvington called Mount Vernon Avenue School. Then I moved and I started going to a school called Florence Avenue School.
Mhm.
And in that school, so that was fourth grade. In that school, there was, I think, 3 metalheads. And so obviously we're the only guys that like metal, because at this point I was like, I liked metal. I embraced it as a fourth grader. And so I knew all the metalheads in the school. There was 3 of them. And we were talking, and then we actually knew all the other metalheads, which was like maybe 3 other ones in like the town, like 2 towns over. So it was really, really like, metalheads. They're just, we were so outnumbered. One of the guys I went to school with in over there was Puda. So and me and him were like both wanted to play guitar. So me and him would just get together. We would play guitar, just like jam out like Metallica songs.
Mhm.
And then we heard about a guy living a town over named Zach, who also liked playing guitar. So we were like, well, let's all jam. And then Chris, my cousin, he was like a drummer in high school. He was like the drummer, marching band, whatever. He had a drum set. So he liked playing drums, and he was like some kind of band ready because he was like a couple years older than us. So I told him, I was like, hey, maybe I could convince my cousin to play drums for us. So we all got together, and obviously we had 3 guitarists and a drummer. So one of us had to pull the short straw and decide to give up guitar and play bass, and that was Puda, and he didn't mind. And that's actually how we formed our band Retribution. And this was like 8th grade or something like that we kind of started playing. And so we started going out playing shows. And at this point, like
Now,
guys,
hold on. Let me throw the flag here. So, what was the first guitar that you got that you started playing on? Just from a sort of like get a little geary here. What was the guitar that was gifted to you by Chris? Do you remember?
well, I remember that it didn't have a name on it. It had no name whatsoever. Yeah,
He was one of those.
Yeah, it was like the biggest piece of shit ever. But a few years later, I ended up getting a better guitar, which I think was called a Cort. It was a Cort Stratocaster.
Okay.
And then I used that for a while. And then so the problem too is I ended up playing lefty, which was a horrible mistake for me to do that.
Are you naturally a lefty?
I'm naturally ambidextrous, or whatever that word is. Right? Some things I do lefty, some things I do righty. I actually knew how to play guitar righty, but I thought it was kind of funny how I'd play a song righty, then I would just turn it around the other way and play the same song. I thought that was pretty cool.
Kind of like the way Hendrix played it. Hendrix was a lefty who played a righty guitar, correct?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. He just took it upside down.
He just took it,
restrung it.
I mean, that's crazy. I mean that he did that. That's pretty wild. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was told I had to pick one, and like this is like one of the biggest screw ups I made. I think righty, I knew like maybe 5 songs. Sure. Lefty, I knew like 7 songs. So I didn't feel like relearning them, the 2 songs righty. So I just said, all right, I was going to play lefty. And the problem with that was, today it's not really a problem anymore. But back then, like you just couldn't find lefty guitars. They were just hard to come by.
Interestingly enough, I believe that I think the guy from the Cars, Elliot Easton, is a lefty guitar player and a collector, and like bought hundreds and hundreds of vintage lefty guitars. If I got that right, I think he's a deep collector, and he's a lefty. Elliot Easton, I believe.
Okay.
Interestingly enough. Hey, Mike, Kevin Allen says hi.
Oh, hey, Kevin Allen. What's up, buddy?
Yeah. And Cornell Joven Danica says Mike's the man. Yeah, you're the man, Mike.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So what happened was with that, so we started playing shows, and the guys in the band will dispute this, and one of these days I'll have solid proof of this. But when we first started playing, we were definitely more of a metal thrash band.
Sure.
Like the first show that we played, we were basically a thrash band.
Was it this? I mean, was this? I mean, I'm assuming this is one of the early ones. Retribution, Warzone, Bloodline. This got to be one of the early ones, right?
Yeah, that was early, but that was at that point we were already like a hardcore band at that point.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so our very first show, and this is how I remember it, and people want to dispute me, but whatever. We basically had a lot of fast songs, no breakdowns, basically no breakdowns, no slowdowns. It was like all fast, kind of thrashy. And I recall thinking that we bombed. Like nobody was moving, people just standing there, just whatever, just like kind of like just not really moving. There was I remember there was a band that played kind of more like a hardcore band.
Mm-hmm.
And I really didn't really know what hardcore was at this point.
Where was this? Do you remember?
Yeah, Obsessions. My first show was at Obsessions, Randolph, New Jersey.
Obsessions.
Yeah.
Sounds like could be a strip club. It could be like like strip club by 9 to 5 hardcore shows.
So I remember that we kind of bombed badly. And I think there was a hardcore band that played, and the crowd was just really were reacting to them. And I remember we were kind of like, yeah, okay, we need to rethink what we're doing. And at that point, Biohazard had just come out. We all just started discovering Biohazard. We started discovering, Leeway,
right.
Agnostic Front, basically all the older bands. And so we were just like, well, maybe let's try to do something where people will react more. The crowd actually does something more than actually just stand there looking at us.
Sure.
And I personally think that we were like a metal band that wanted to do more hardcore stuff, but we didn't really know what hardcore was. We were just learning it on the spot. So I think that was actually kind of a blessing in disguise, because we didn't really know what we're supposed to do. We didn't know what the tropes were, about how to play, how did riffs go into riffs. Because now it's like when you hear a song, like a hardcore song, it's like you kind of could tell that, okay, yeah, these guys are hardcore dudes. It sounds like a hardcore guys writing a song, but yeah, we had no idea, in my opinion, what we were doing.
There was a little bit of a learning curve.
Yeah, there was a learning curve. And actually, with that Retribution show, for example, that was when we were, already like a hardcore band. We were making that transition. We were playing with a lot of hardcore bands. So,
I mean, let's just take a quick look at who you're playing with here. Bloodline, New Jersey, Warzone, and this is it. The Cement, formerly the Retards.
Yeah.
I guess somebody said, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't be the Retards anymore. Like, you know what? People are going to think we're a bunch of retards. Maybe we should change the name of the band to the Cement.
Yeah. Shout out to Jay Retard. I saw him in here before.
Oh, who's that? Who's that?
Jason Scott Hamilton. He was the singer. He's in the comments.
Does he go by the name Jason Retard? That's
what I call him.
That's pretty great.
As we're playing with we're playing with One for One. We play with Bad Brains.
Yeah.
So we're watching like hardcore bands, and we're kind of like, I think we're all just kind of like observing what people are doing, and then we started getting into like a competitive mode of we wanted people to fuck shit up, Like we wanted people to go fucking nuts, and we started like really just writing music for.
Right.
Like we really just envisioned the crowd just going nuts, and that's what we were kind of going for.
And Puda was singing for Retribution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he got to the point that he did not want to sing anymore, which is kind of funny because so Chris went to the Biohazard Retribution video shoot, and at this point, I guess we were looking for a singer, and Chris met Kevin, and Kevin was saying he was looking to sing for a band.
Right.
So Chris was like, "Oh, hey, I got a band, and we're looking for a singer." So Kevin was like, "All right, I'm in." But he wanted to change the name from Retribution because that was a Biohazard song, and he was very close with the Biohazard guys. And we did not pick Retribution because of Biohazard. We just thought it was a cool name, and so happened that later on we found out that there was a Biohazard song with the same name. But yeah, so Kev was like,
I entrusted you, and you stabbed me in the back. Trust is what you. They used to rip that back in the day.
Yeah,
That was a good one, man. That's a great Biohazard, that old school Biohazard song.
Yeah, so we changed our name from Retribution to Bulldoze, and basically Puda stopped singing, and then Kevin took over the lyrics. And Kevin had some great ideas too. What was funny, I guess, and a pivotal thing with Kevin was because he spent a lot of time in the '80s, with in the hardcore scene, punk rock scene, whatever. And I remember a discussion he had with me. He was saying that he was just so tired of all that fast shit. He was like, just slow it all down. So we were like, okay. And I come from like a death metal background, that was kind of like where I ended up. I guess let me just put a pin on that real quick. Let me just give some more build on that real quick. So I started with Iron Maiden. And I other than Chris, the only metalhead I knew, I didn't know what other bands to listen to, but I did go to another flea market and I bought the record, the Blizzard of Oz record, and
the what?
Ozzy Osbourne, Blizzard of Oz.
Yeah.
And Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil. So at that point, those
two great records.
Yeah. So this was all I had.
Excuse me, two great records. If you're a young guitar player. And you're riffing. I mean, talk about riffs. Blizzard of Oz and Shout at the Devil. Riffs are us. Yeah.
And so at this point, these were the only three things I had as a third grader. I had the first Iron Maiden album, Blizzard of Oz, and Shout at the Devil. Mm-hmm. And then when I in fourth grade, when I went to the new school and I met the new metalheads, that's when I got put on to Metallica. And that was really life-changing as well, because like in that day and age of Metallica was like they were like the kings of metal, kings of thrash, I'd say.
Sure.
There was Master of Puppets, Ride the Lightning, Kill 'Em All.
So as an aspiring young guitar player, who spoke to you and made you feel like, hey, okay. Who really influenced you early on? I mean, you mentioned those records. I guess it's safe to say Randy Rhoads, James Hetfield.
Yeah. So at that time, I really just liked the songs. I just listened to the songs just all day long, and I really just wanted to learn how to play them. So naturally, I thought that these guys were the best guitarists because they were just playing the best songs that I wanted to learn how to play. And then I kind of moved on later to like the more, I guess, technical side of things, where I started kind of not looking at guitarists because I liked the song, but I was kind of I moved towards like the technical ability, like Alex Skolnick, for example. Like I loved his solos. Randy Rhoads was always like my guy. I mean, like the work, the way he just worked that guitar, like, and his solos were just, I'm not a shredder, but I definitely, I loved their solos. I actually really liked Slash back then too, Guns N' Roses. Like like
nothing wrong with that, man.
Oh no, I mean his solo that he did for a Sweet Child of Mine. That was actually the first solo I learned.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
I still think that's like one of the best solos. You know what I mean?
It's beautiful. I mean,
no, it is.
and I don't use that word usually. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
You know?
no, exactly.
Yeah.
And then I kind of started looking again at Jimi Hendrix. And just the fact that the limitations that he had, like what he was just able to do with the righty guitars, strum lefty, because I've done that before, and all those knobs kind of get in your way. So and he was able to work around that. So I really started appreciating him, which is a topic I always find funny, and I don't know how to answer it. Is when people ask me what's my favorite guitarist. Because I'm like, wow, that's I need 5 different categories here. You know what I mean? It's like guys who can solo really nice and solos that I want to listen to. I mean, then you got guys like Yngwie Malmsteen, Steve Vai, Joe Satriani. Like these, I could never, ever in my life get as good as these guys are. But it's
yes, but I think is something about sort of their approach or their vibe or their spirit that a lot of times I'm speaking, I'll keep it in the eye. I might not be the most proficient singer, but there's certain singers that have influenced me greatly. I could never sing like Rob Halford or like Axl Rose or even Phil Anselmo, but they've all affected me greatly.
Yeah, but the thing with Yngwie and Steve Vai, Joe Satriani is like these guys are just beyond amazing guitarists. But I mean, and I don't want to speak badly about them because I mean, I'm nothing compared to them. But I don't think those guys can write a good song. You know what I mean?
That's the whole thing, right? I mean, like we say, there's a lot of there's a lot of great music, and I'm not necessarily pinning this on them, but there's a lot of great musicians out there, but they don't have the ability. They don't play well with the other kids in the sandbox.
Well, yeah,
and then you have a lot of guys that might not be the greatest, but they play very well with other kids in the sandbox. And this is sort of the terrain that we've all learned to navigate as artists, right? Like, hey, you have guys that have incredible work ethics and are great team players, and they've gone very, very far in this business.
Yeah. And then it's so then I kind of changed my mind on this whole thing. And I'm kind of like, I want to know who wrote a particular riff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because no matter how technically good somebody is and how fast they are and how the scales they can move, up and down or whatever. It's sometimes just that really simple riff is like the hardest thing to come up with. Like a nice simple riff that is catchy that other people might want to, cover. You know what I mean?
Sure.
There's no solo in the song, but everybody's covering the song and nobody cares that there's no solo. The people that can write a song like that, that's when I really started to appreciate that as well. So whenever people talk about who's my favorite guitarist, I'm kind of like, wow, I can sit here for hours talking about that.
Sure. Well, yeah. Right. So Bulldoze kind of comes together, and I had your cousin on, and I'm a bit familiar with the timeline, which is very helpful today. I think it's really interesting that Retribution existed as a band, totally formed. It wasn't even like somebody left or anything. It's just Puda moved from singer to bass, and then Kev came aboard, and you started playing Bulldoze shows, and you started. Who came up with the original music, or was there any sort of a mission statement or a game plan with the early Bulldoze stuff?
Well, a bunch of early Bulldoze songs were already written for Retribution. We actually did a comp called I forgot what the name of the comp was. Actually, I was drawing a blank, but it was a New Jersey comp. Then we actually had 2 Retribution songs recorded, and both of those songs became Bulldoze songs. They were formerly Retribution songs. And Common Cause, yes, that's what it was called. And so well, back then the writing process was, I'd have a riff, Zach would have a riff, Puda would have a riff. We'd be like, hey, Chris, give us something over this. And we would all just kind of like very democratically be like, okay, this sounds good going into this. This sounds good going into that. We would all just kind of just work together as a team to basically assemble songs. And, all of us would be like, we would argue about, that sounds good or that doesn't sound good. Sometimes Kev would be like, hey, slow that down, or, take that part out or move it around. We all basically, like all of our DNA is in every song. Like, because even if you listen to any of the old Retribution stuff, the songs, and listen to what they find the final versions with Bulldoze, I mean, a lot of it is there, but we kind of changed it around. We kind of edited it a little bit, and it was never like, it was always like back then. It was just like we'd come to practice one day, and be like, yeah, you know what, let's change this around. We're like, okay, yeah, no problem. Like, we didn't care. We were all just we're fine with it. We kind of decided that once we recorded on the demo, that we're not touching it anymore. So once it was finally recorded on the demo, we were like, all right, hands off. We're moving on to the next song.
Sure.
So that was. So we all basically contributed to it.
Now the first Bulldoze was there two Bulldoze demos?
So no, there was a Bulldoze demo that came out in '94, and then there was the 7-inch that came out in I guess like '95,
right?
I believe, or something like that. Yeah. So we had the demo.
And was this the Truth, Hypocrite, Herb, and Suffering? This was the first demo.
Yeah, that was the first demo.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah, so so somebody just pinged me about want to hear more about the songwriting process. Basically, me, Zach, and Puda, we're all like riff masters, I would say. Like, we all just come out like Puda is the guy that wrote the Truth. He's the one that wrote the lyrics. He's the one that wrote the harmony for it, the guitar part. Me and Chris wrote the Beatdown. Like, I just had an idea, and I just got together with Chris one day, and me and him just like kind of wrote it, start to finish. It was just like ideas, just riffs. Zach, has a lot of riffs too. I remember there was a lot of parts that he did. I didn't actually. I don't want to misquote, who did what. So I'll let him answer that, because I'm just, my memory's kind of shot, because we did a lot of drinking back then too.
Let me ask you about this guy here, right?
That's Zach. Yep.
You've done a lot of work with him through the years. You two guys. How does a band that has two guitar players like yourself? How do the parts get divvied out? Who does what in this band? Is anything set? I mean, you've done a lot of work through the years with Zach.
Yeah, no, we basically, like I said, we're very democratic. So like, I'll have a riff, he'll have a riff, the band votes, right? Whoever gets, outvoted, their part gets put in. It's that simple. And a lot of times, I mean, I would say that almost every time, the better riff would get picked, or the better song structure, or we would have, as we're in the writing process, we would have just different versions of the song, like, different, verse, choruses, whatever. And, we would try something different, or somebody would have an idea. We'd come into practice one day and somebody would be like, hey, let's try this, or hey, let's try that. We play it, and we would all just be like, yeah, okay, that sounds better. Yeah, it was, we basically just all just work well together, even to today. And it's very democratic. And, sometimes it kind of sucks because, you obviously like your own riff, but, we all kind of accept the fact that, hey, if you get outvoted, and just drop it. That's
it's part of it being in a band. All I could do is speak for the situation I'm in, where it's like, what, everybody's fine, and everybody pushes everybody else, and it's like whoever feels the most strongly about an idea, that's kind of, you sort of lay back. If somebody feels that strongly about it, you know what, let's do that. That's how my band works these days.
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately, like the one of the strengths of Bulldoze and Train of Thought was that there was, it was the power of the vote. Everybody's
Yeah.
vote counted, and if you're
Sure.
outvoted, you're outvoted, and just that's it.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's
That's kind of how we decided to settle stuff. Just vote, and you lose, you lose. If you win, you win.
So I'm actually going to look at my notes for a second here. All right.
Okay.
I mean, I actually have notes. Can you believe it? I spend hours putting notes together and never look at them.
So do I. So do I.
Here you go. You guys pioneered the beatdown hardcore genre with your '96 album, The Final Beatdown, basically giving the genre its name. It was the biggest influence on the beatdown, on the biggest influence on the breakdown heavy hardcore bands that came after them in the mid '90s and beyond. Did you know at the time? Did you feel at the time that you were pioneering something, or that you were really making such a ripple in the water?
No idea. And actually, somebody recently asked me, what other kind of beatdown bands were around back then.
Yeah.
And I said that didn't even exist. Like the name beatdown didn't.
The name didn't exist.
It was just hardcore. And the first time I ever heard beatdown, I was extremely confused. This had to be like maybe 2006. Yeah, it was like 2005, 2006. I'm not sure the year, but it was something like that. Maybe 2007. I was in a rehearsal studio with Homicidal, and my guitarist is Tomoki. He was from Japan. So I wrote a riff, and I was like, "Hey, what do you think of this riff?" And he was like, "Mike, make it more beatdown." I was like what? He was like, "Yeah, make it more beatdown." So I was like, I started playing the song beatdown, like da 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 da. He was like, no, not beatdown, but make it more beatdown. I was like, dude, what are you saying? I had no idea what he was talking about.
Huh.
Like, so this whole conversation went on for about like 15 minutes, where like I guess he thought I knew what beatdown as the subgenre meant, because I guess that was being already I guess used at some places, but I never heard that before. So so he had no idea that I didn't know that I knew. I didn't know what he was talking about. So it was actually pretty funny now looking back at it, like just how confusing that whole conversation was. But soon after that, I found out that there was that they started calling the subgenre of hardcore, beatdown hardcore.
Yeah.
But I never say that. I never claim that we invented it or whatever. People say that, cool. I mean, you'll never hear me say that.
It's really interesting considering, your background and where you were coming where you were coming from musically and as a guitar player. It's pretty incredible. And what's great about it too is it happened organically. You know what I mean? You didn't set out to let it just. This is you guys connected with Kevin, which is pretty wild. Off the Biohazard punishment video we did. It's pretty wild. So I was a part of that. It's all connected. Everything's connected one way or another. But and you guys, you really blazed the trail, and it's wild, man. All these years later, it's. And what's really great, I want to say, is that you guys have enjoyed such a resurgence, a well-deserved resurgence. Bulldoze, your music, people love you, all over the world right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because one thing that's really funny that I always kind of laugh at is that Kevin wanted to even join our band, because he walked in because we were like 14 years old. You know what I mean?
Right.
He had to walk into the first time he walked into the room and he saw us. Like, I don't know what was going through his head, but I guess he liked the music enough that he was like, all right, I guess I'll join this band. Because it really was a high school project for us. I mean, like we weren't trying to do anything but just have fun. It was just a high school band that we were part of, and so it's actually like when after Bulldoze ended in like '95, I remember thinking like nobody's ever gonna like this band. You know what I mean? 'Cause I thought it was just like so dumb. You know what I mean? Just the whole thing was just dumb. Like, but I'm pleasantly surprised that people actually like Bulldoze and want to hear it and give us give us the love that we get from the whole world, which is I'm always amazed. I definitely don't take it for granted, and I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean this is I think last year, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, you guys are in 2025, playing great shows all over the world. It's incredible. Damien says the Bulldoze pits were the most intense I'd ever seen. Studio One in Newark was the toughest place in New Jersey hardcore in the 90s.
Yeah. I was actually just talking to somebody about this recently about like the pits are definitely different now. Like the it's a I'm gonna I don't really have my thoughts gathered here, but I'm gonna I guess just try to do the best I can to say this cogently. You guys feel free to comment on this, but like the pits were like really dangerous back then because like you had felons in the pit that were actually looking to knock people out like on purpose, like straight, like it was bad. But the dancing today, I got hurt recently in a torture pit. Somebody jumped on my head and busted my head open at For the Children of California.
What'd you call it? A torture pit?
Torture, the band Torture.
Oh, torture. Oh, you said at a torture pit, and I'm like,
well,
that's a new,
yeah. Well,
like that's a new term. Is that something? Is that like a thing?
Well,
the torture pit.
I think that might be a good way to name some of these pits.
Sure.
I mean, everybody is like spin kicking and like you're basically trying to duck and weave. It's like a straight kickboxing match in the pit. And but the entire floor is doing it, and then you have people running, jumping, hitting people on the head. You have people jumping on stage and basically, swatting, like just going right down the line, swatting people in the head who are up front up front on stage. But they're not really hitting people too hard. I mean, I think a lot of people are like kind of, they're not out to hurt people. They're just out to, they're just out to kind of have fun. Where I think in the 90s, early 90s, people were definitely out to hurt people. Like it was like some gang on gang kind of shit happening in the fucking in a pit. And so I think that is the difference.
Well, I remember all that, and yeah, but that's an interesting take on it. There were like serious felons in the pit looking to hurt people. I think that's fair to say at a certain point. And you know. There's been times where I've said, in the current state of music, I've said, well, in the last couple of years, at least everybody's not, trying to be a tough guy these days. Because there was a period where you would go out and it was a tough guy convention. Everybody was wearing, sports jerseys, and the thing that was in was be a tough guy and get into fights. And every time you go out, it was insane. I sort of miss that a little bit now because the pendulum has really swung the other way to like it's soft as a baby's ass out there a lot of the time now, and I sort of miss hardcore having a little bit of an edge in certain regards. I know in certain
crowd kills are still there.
Yeah, in certain realms it still does, but a lot of it is soft as a baby's ass,
Yeah, no, I mean I definitely agree. I mean I think that the thing that's become interesting to me, and this was probably always the case, but I recognize it now more, I guess, is because like depending on what hardcore band is playing and depending on I guess their style of hardcore, will really determine what kind of pit you're going to be part of if you want to partake in the pit. And like some bands are just fun stage diving. There's no horseshoe. Everybody's up front just singing along. Catching people when they jump. And then certain bands come out and like before the band even goes on, you've got a horseshoe that takes up the entire room. Everybody just knows like, okay, danger.
Sure.
I think that's kind of interesting.
I like this. Me and your cousin got a laugh out of this one. The like, if you know, it is the Bulldoze starter pack. Here you go. How to ruin someone's night. It's like basically, it's like the Bulldoze starter pack. There you go. Pretty funny.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I love the fact that camo is in, and everybody's wearing camo. Like, because I love like my camo cargo pants.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it makes sense. So let me do a sponsor break, and let's come back and let's talk about sort of Bulldoze going on hiatus, and let's talk a little about Train of Thought, and let's get to Hold My Own and current Bulldoze and stuff like that. So quick sponsor break. I'll see you back here in a couple minutes, okay?
Yep.
It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Mike Milewski from Bulldoze, Train of Thought. Hold My Own is on the show. Lots to talk about today. Hope you're enjoying it at least half as much as I am. See you in a minute. Since 1992, Generation Records has been a mainstay of the New York metropolitan area music scene. Today, they offer a diverse selection of new and used rock, jazz, indie, hip-hop, punk, hardcore, metal, blues, soundtrack, and reggae LPs, as well as t-shirts, posters, and other merchandise. They buy used record collections and music memorabilia and will pay you top dollar for them. House calls made for large collections in the tri-state area. Call or email generationrecords@gmail.com and follow them on Facebook and Instagram.
Will that be cash or in debt?
Do you mean debit?
Yes. Sorry. Another eternally satisfied customer.
Yo, what's happening? I'm out here at one of our all-ages Sunday matinees on the Bowery. I hope that you are enjoying today's show. I just want to let you know that the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live needs your support. Please step up. There is a Patreon page that has a lot of unique program. Shows are announced there first. Lots of good stuff. There's a PayPal address right there on the screen if you want to make a contribution. There's also a super chat function. You could do that. But the bottom line is this show exists because of your support. We're going to be doing it for a long, long time. Thank you for all your support through the years. Back to the show.
Conditioned by indoctrination, conditioned by society. You're a victim of the digital age, a 21st century casualty. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Conditioned by misinformation, it's just the media telling us lies. Decipher fiction from the truth. Society's slow and tragic demise. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Everyone's got their fucking opinion.
What's up? We're back. Hey, I noticed that the stream is acting a little weird today, so I apologize for that. Although I have no control over what goes over the internet and what's going on. I closed a couple windows. Hopefully that'll help. But this is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. I want to mention a couple upcoming shows. Come on. What's going on? Oh, there you go. 1 week from today. Oh, there will be no show on Sunday because we have a free all ages Sunday matinee going on down at the Bowery with Channel 3, who we spoke to Mike earlier in the show, Mala Vista, Chemical X, Chum Huffer, and Beast from the East. No show this Sunday, but this is happening down at the Bowery Electric. Come on down. Bring that nagging wife. Bring that booger-eating kid. All are welcome. 1 week from today, J-Way of Bayway will be on the show. Speaking of New Jersey, Wednesday, June 25th. Sunday, July 6th, Hail Mantis from Venom and Venom Inc. will be on the show. Wednesday, July 9th, co-hosted by Lori Dawn. Cindy Hafratz will be on the show from the Luna Chicks. She's also doing a lot of DJing stuff. We love Cindy. She will be on Wednesday, July 9th. Greg Jacobs, author of Hell on Wheels Tour Stories, Remembered, Remixed, and Remastered, will be on July 16th. And Astoria Queens represent from Crown of Thorns, Still Suit, Scarhead, Homicidal, and Smoke AD. Demi Duas will be on the show. Hell yeah. A beloved figure here in the New York hardcore scene. I saw people were really excited that Demi is coming on the show. So want to mention also, please support the show. Patreon is the best way. There's a $2 tier or $5 tier. There's a PayPal address there. Also, everybody on Patreon, I made a post the other day. The London 77 book is available for all patrons at a 30% discount. The code is on the page. Check it out. The New York Hardcore Chronicles Volume 2 book is free for all patrons. A bunch of those are going out. Join Patreon. Please support the show. That's how it happens. Nobody's getting rich here, but at least I don't have to flip burgers as I put in all my homework to do the show. And thank you for supporting. Not that there's anything wrong with flipping burgers. I wouldn't mind flipping burgers, actually. Be something different. That said, Demi is coming on the show. That said, I think we covered a lot. Hey, if you're watching on YouTube in rerun, please subscribe. Please subscribe to the show and follow the show. Pick up your communication device and follow the show on Instagram at Stone Films NYC. That said, 30% discount for the London 77 book just got up on the Patreon page. So get up there, get it. Come on now, get some. Let's bring back our guest for the day from Bulldoze, Hold My Own, Train of Thought, Mike Milewski. Hey, man.
Shout out to Demi. Demi was actually the drummer for Bulldoze for quite a while, too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You know, he got an incredible response when I announced the show yesterday. People like, there's, like yourself, there's a lot of like meat and potatoes guys out there that, that don't get those large accolades, sort of behind the scenes a little bit. And then when I announce them, like everybody comes out of the woodwork, And
Demi is actually a really great guy.
Yeah, he is.
I'm really glad that I've been able to work with him, and I still work with him in Homicidal. So I'm really happy, to be part of,
there's a little bit of crossover there since he's in Homicidal as well.
Yeah. Right? Also, shout out Jay Bayway.
Yeah, a lot of Jersey guys coming through the show.
I'm going to say something that you will probably find very offensive, and I apologize.
I will find offensive.
Maybe, but
you'd be surprised at what I find offensive. Yeah. Not much.
But I've always kind of felt that New York hardcore and New Jersey hardcore are like one and the same.
Yeah, I don't find that offensive.
I mean, I'm joking. I don't think you would, but because I'm like, I'd go to New York shows. I would see tons of New Jersey people.
Sure.
I go to New Jersey shows, see a ton of New York people.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, when people say New York hardcore, New Jersey hardcore, I'm kind of like, man, there sure is a lot of Jersey and New York people at either shows. So I always kind of find it funny.
I always felt, being like a first wave American hardcore guy, that like I'm talking early on in the early 80s, like the New York scene was really sort of fractured because there was so many little cliques. It was like the guys from Jersey, the guys from the Lower East Side, the guys from the Bronx, Brooklyn. There was so many different sort of pieces that made this a whole. It wasn't like, hey, the Boston hardcore scene or whatever, where sort of like it was a little more, centralized. New York has always been a pastiche of many different people in there. I always felt the New York hardcore scene was, it almost should be called like the tri-state scene. You know what I mean?
I was thinking that too. But actually, like the Connecticut, also Philly. Like no matter where I am, there's always somebody from like either Connecticut or Philly as well. So yeah, TSHC. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's just just natural for young people to be territorial about things. And it's like, you know, the Lower East Side, we're the Lower East Side crew, you know, and you know, there wasn't a lot of people going like, you know, we're the Connecticut crew, you know. It was
Yeah.
like, you know, there was
Well, like in Irvington, right? There was, you know, you have crews that basically call themselves after the street. So there was 40th Street or whatever.
sure.
We're the 40th Street crew. There was, you know, the 18th Ave or whatever. We're the 18th Ave crew. You know, the Chapman Place, the street I lived on. There was like a crew that always like hung out over there. They're like the Chapman Place crew or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, all right. So people will go down, down to the street, to the corner of, their identity, which, whatever.
So let's talk about Bulldoze kind of takes a hiatus or, and tell us about Train of Thought.
Yeah. So basically, so when we parted ways, Kevin went and did Terrazone. We went and did Train of Thought. That was when Puda took over, went back to singing again, and but now he didn't want to play bass and sing, so he just sung, and we got Amazing Larry to be our bass player. And one of the driving forces for Train of Thought was we kind of wanted to be a little bit more melodic. Like we wanted to kind of explore that, like, because at that point, like we were basically, like, we knew we could write hard stuff. You know what I mean? Like, but but we really didn't explore our musical, I guess, talents. I don't want to call it talents, but trying to play more melodic stuff, learning how to play our instruments better, because we've been playing them for like 2 years at that point. So we wanted to get a little more melodic and try to explore stuff. Kind of just get weird with it, just have fun, like not really, not try to redo what we did with Bulldoze, but try to go on a different direction. And what was funny about Train of Thought was like a lot of people back then were asking us, are we even a hardcore band? And I remember first time somebody asked me that, I was like, well, I mean, we're a bunch of hardcore kids. I mean, we're I guess it's a hardcore band. Like we considered ourselves a hardcore band, and which is kind of funny too, because like now in present day with Turnstile, like I see a lot of people asking, are they a hardcore band? I'm like, well, they're hardcore kids playing, like maybe they're exploring stuff. I mean, whatever. But I remember like we were getting a lot of weirdness about that back then. People weren't really quite sure what to make of us, but we liked trying to do the whole heavy stuff. It's like melodic stuff. And I don't just like 95. I don't think really anybody was really doing that I recall either. So I'm not sure unless somebody in the comments can give me some examples of other bands. But
Mimi Fugget of Fugget says, love Puda's voice.
Hey, Mimi.
Hey, Zach. Good to see you, buddy. We were just talking about you before.
Yeah, one thing too that Zach was really good at, which I really want to mention, is Zach is really good at like taking riffs and just like assembling them in an order that really sounds good and works for a song. So a lot of times, the riffs that we would have, Zach would have like a really good ability not only to write really fucking awesome riffs, but then to kind of kind of organize things as well and put them in order that really made sense. So
yeah, that's what I was kind of getting at before. It's like different people bring different things to the party, and that's what makes the whole. And one guy excels at, when you have two guitar players, you can't have two guys doing the exact same thing.
Well, I mean, we kind of do. I mean, like basically, me and him just write riffs, and well, so let me just backtrack here a little bit. Like, so, like I personally, and the guys put the brakes on me, but what I love intros. I absolutely love intros.
You're an intro guy.
Yeah, if I had my way, which I think I've had this discussion, I think everybody kind of laughed at me. I would have an intro for every song, and it would be like maybe we'd play like those intros for a few shows, and then just have whole new intros that nobody's ever heard before. For next bunch of shows.
What your Metallica roots are showing, my man.
Yeah,
right?
But I couldn't really, nobody really wanted to do that with me, which maybe that's for the better. But that's kind of where I'm at, and people like Zach would be like, "Hey, bro, slow down."
Yeah, right.
It's probably for the better.
Yeah, it's always good to have somebody in a band that sort of is the. I'll keep it in my band. We got like the quality control expert. You know what I mean? It's like someone might, well, hold on a second. Let's put it through this grinder first. Have you seen your hardcore trading card?
I have not.
Is that right? Here, check it out. There you go. Boom.
Cool.
What is that you're playing? That's not a Paul Reed Smith, is it?
Yes, it is.
Right.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
God, thank you so much. That is amazing.
What's that?
No, that is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I have
that.
I know what's what at this point. I've always, you still have that guitar?
I didn't know. Yeah, I still have it. I still rock it.
It's a beautiful guitar.
Yeah, actually, I met Paul Reed Smith. He was doing an event at the Guitar Center in Union, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him, I was like, the thing is, like, being a lefty, I never was able to find great lefty guitars. And so when I saw that Paul Reed Smith, I was like, yeah, I gotta buy it. And I've used it for like 20 years. And he was saying how it wasn't really very. He wasn't making as much money as he thought he could be on lefty guitars because there's like so few people out there. So I was like, yeah.
I think the first guy I saw play a Paul Reed Smith might have been Carlos Santana, if I'm remembering correctly. But here's the back of the card, and I love Josh does a great job on these cards and always helpful in my research. It says personal trivia: Mike was a member of the original Retribution lineup before the band switched gears and became Bulldoze. The first Bulldoze show was a few impromptu songs in the middle of a set that New Jersey Bloodline was playing, opening for Dog Eat Dog at Studio One in Newark, New Jersey.
Yep.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, I was actually just watching that video recently. I got that on VHS.
Wow.
Got to try to capture it and digitize it.
Good stuff. Just in the spirit of trying to keep things moving, and I want to touch on everything. We opened up the show with a Hold My Own clip, and I know that's a little bit down the line, but I know you have some new music out. How did you become involved with Hold My Own, and tell us about that band?
Yeah, so Anchit, who you see here, his wife was pregnant, and there was a Terror tour coming up. There was Terror, Haywire, Cro-Mags. So I was talking to him, to him and the other guys in the band, and I was like, hey, because they only had one guitarist. I was like, hey, if you need another guitarist, go on tour, just in case something happens, with Anchit's wife, and he's got to, dip out early. I was like, I could just hold it down if something happens. And at that point, my job, I worked for Verizon for like 20 years. They were offering a buyout, and so I kind of figured it'd be kind of great just to quit my job and just go on tour. So I kind of willed it to happen.
That's great. So, good for you.
Yeah, so I joined, and we were just we all get along great. Like the guys from Hold My Own are amazing guys to work with, amazing guys to hang out with. Anchit, Kush, Sergio, Greg, just awesome dudes. So I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll just join the band. You know what I mean? Why not?
Sure.
Have fun doing it. Yeah, and this song right here, "No Respect Due," is actually the first song that I was able to contribute some ideas to after I joined. So this is it's got a little bit of my input in the creation of the song as well. So,
Right
so
on.
that's actually a great song.
Yeah, it's been on repeat when I was doing my homework all week, because it's the single you drop. So once you listen to it on Spotify, specifically, Spotify doesn't go anywhere else, so it just plays it over and over again. You know, I got a kick out of this. This was good. This was funny. I got a kick out of this. Well done. This meme. There you go. Realizing the guitarist in Hold My Own is Mike from Bulldoze. That's great.
Yeah, when I saw it, I actually kind of spit my soda out my mouth. So that's pretty funny.
This is a Brett the Bookie. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by. Good question, Claire. Is it difficult to collaborate with a Chicago-based band from New Jersey?
No, I mean, not really. I mean, like, just get on the phone, be like, hey, check this out, or or record an idea, send it out. But like, I know I'll be out in Chicago at some point, and just gonna get together and just try to jam out some ideas. So, I mean, I think in today's with technology being what technology is,
yeah.
Which actually I want to circle back to this point. That there's a funny thing I've noticed, but with technology being what it is today, with the ability just to just record yourself at home, and I mean you don't even need to learn how to use any of the Pro Tools or any of that kind of stuff. You just record a WAV file of you playing and then just email it out.
Yep.
And things like that. I mean, it's really easy to get an idea to somebody on another side of the world. Honestly, you could work remotely. Like the project I did during COVID, it's called Zero Trust. Like that, a lot of that was a lot of things like that were written remotely. We would have ideas. We would record ourselves. We'd send it in. Somebody would kind of combine stuff or do a drum track over an idea. I mean, because as long as you record over like a metronome, so you keep the correct timing.
Yeah, you could just lay it in.
Yeah, and then if once a song kind of gets laid out and everybody's happy, then you would actually go in night to a studio and actually record. And you don't even need to go do that. I mean, you can just record tracks remotely. So it's really not that hard. I mean, I personally just like being in the studio with somebody. That way you just kind of just feel the energy and you kind of just vibe off the energy in person. I don't know if that's because that's just what I kind of grew up doing. Maybe people who don't have that experience of the vibe kind of experience in the studio don't have a problem with just working remotely. I can't really speak to what's better or what's not. I just know that for me, I like staring at the drummer and be like, yeah, that's the one, or nah, try something different. Yep, yeah, BJ's a great vocalist. So Zero Trust was so BJ and Evan, they were in a band called Full Scale Riot. And even before that, BJ was in a band called Ghidra and GMK, and that goes back to way back in the 90s. And we actually, our bass player was actually Travis from Coheed and Cambria. He's the guitar player for Coheed and Cambria, but he played bass for that project. And yeah, it was like and Zach, my man, my Bulldoze brother. He also played guitar in that project. And yeah, that was like a little fun thing we did during COVID because everything was locked down. There was no shows. You couldn't really go anywhere. Couldn't do anything. All tours were canceled. So we kind of did that to kind of keep our sanity and just have some fun.
It was an interesting era because artistically it made a lot of people reevaluate and do different things, and it brought a lot of, in a certain way, it separated a lot, it isolated a lot of people, but a lot of people ended up doing projects together like the remote stuff, and of course, the show started in the pandemic, and here we are 5 years later, and it's been a great run. But you see, I kind of miss those like pandemic mashups, where it's like, oh shit, like Igor from Sepultura and this dude and that dude. And you're like, what? All right, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I actually really enjoyed the lockdowns. I was able to just to. I mean, I know people, that they had different opinions about it, but just me, like I like being home where I could just play my guitar, do my hobbies. I'm a person with like a million hobbies, so I really enjoyed that time where I couldn't go anywhere because I had the time of my life, honestly. Music, hobbies, just everything. I watched so many great movies, so many great shows. I mean, I just now that things are kind of back to how they were, I just don't have the time anymore. But back then, I had a lot of free time, and I enjoyed it. But I don't want to speak for anybody else, but me personally, I enjoyed the time.
In a certain regard, I certainly did too, and I'm certainly not belittling, the what happened during the pandemic and people that I know people lost loved ones and this and that, but it was a really vibrant time for my career as well. Kind of crazy. Hey, let's talk about just so we have this covered a little bit. How does Homicidal fit into sort of your timeline?
All right, so Bulldoze was 93 to 95. Train of Thought was 95 to 97. At that point, I was in college. Actually, I guess all of us were in college. But at that point, Zach, Puda, they went and started Agents of Man, along with guys from Elements, DEC, Raj, and Ray, and as they were doing that, I just wanted to kind of just focus on finishing college and just kind of get my life together at that point. But once I graduated college and my life was pretty much I guess in order, I guess I kind of was like, I kind of want to get back doing a band. So I was talking to Seth. Seth was the drummer for One for One. He was also the drummer for 25 to Life for a while. So me and him got together, and we had Frank from New Jersey Bloodline, and we also got Reek, who was the singer for New Jersey Bloodline, and we just like, fuck it, let's just start a band. And at that point, I didn't think Bulldoze was ever going to play again, so I had like a lot of riffs that were meant for Bulldoze. And then I just started writing heavy music again. Like I kind of went back to the hard stuff. So, and that was like 94. I'm sorry, 2004 was when we started doing Homicidal.
And when was the last time Homicidal played out?
We actually just played I think like a month or two ago. We opened up for it was our first show back in like years. But we opened up for Tsunami, Pain of Truth, Haywire in New Jersey.
Wow. I grabbed this. You sent me some photos, including this one, and I couldn't help but notice. I know this is a fairly recent photo, but you're playing, and there's Demi right behind you. Yeah, cool.
Yep,
cool shot.
That's the PRS.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now I'm using LTD. I'm using like the Evertune as well. I'm really kind of digging that as well.
Or is that an Evertune you're playing there?
No. That the PRS isn't. But the guitar that I currently have, like I think the other pictures. I just got it just recently, like about a year ago or a year and a half ago.
I think they're making Evertune basses now too. I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
So what used to happen is sometimes at these shows they would get pretty rowdy, people jumping on stage, and people would like bang into my headstock and just throw me out of tune. And so that was kind of like, kind of sucks because you got to stop playing, you got to tune. So the Evertune really kind of just that's not a problem anymore. So I do enjoy that aspect of it for the shows that get rowdy. It's really been helpful.
I mean,
me.
do you do you do a lot of shows these days that get rowdy? It seems like you're playing kind of big stages now, but then again, a lot of people jump up on stage and come running across the stage.
Yeah, and
that hasn't changed.
Oh yeah, and I encourage that. If you're not jumping on stage and knocking into me, then fucking I'm disappointed in you guys, right?
Yeah, there you
Jump
go.
up there. If you bump into me, trust me, I'm not mad. I'd rather you do that than not get on stage. Go on stage, hit some people, hit me too. I don't care, and jump off and have fun.
Yeah. I mean, you want to feel like you're in the scrum, you know?
Yeah, like when I go to shows, like now I see like the barricades, and I don't see anybody on stage. Like I'm just kind of like, this is gonna be whack. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And also, I love steak potatoes. Like to me, like if I don't see steak potatoes on stage,
stage potatoes.
I mean, like it's almost like a measure of how cool a band is or how good a band is. Like if there's like a lot of people on stage, like you're about to have a great time. Because people, half the time it's like people are up there because they don't want to get hit or get hurt. Sure. So I'm like, all right, this is gonna be a good show. That's like that's my temperature gauge of like how awesome it's gonna go. If it's a band that I'm not familiar with and I see just a ton of people on stage, I'm like, all right, somebody hold my glasses. You know what I mean?
I was thinking, like, kind of surprised that you play with glasses on. You never wore contact lenses or anything?
No. I mean, I've tried contact lenses, but I just can't really seem to get it I can't really see that well. So I
guess as a guitar player, you get a little bit of a reprieve. As a singer, I couldn't sing with my glasses on because I'll just get smashed, man, and that'll be the end of that.
Well, I also have like an extra pair of glasses in my guitar case, so just in case, I'm prepared.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of gear, I just want to shout out Kyle Bull as well. So before that Terror tour, I didn't want to lug around a head, so just like that day, like the Nano Cortex came out, so I bought it. And I went and looked at a video that Kyle did. And by the way, if you guys don't know, Kyle Bull, he does a great YouTube channel that talks about gear. Mm. So any people out there that want to, get a good sound or just, listen to somebody that really spends a lot of time, really knowing their stuff, I definitely highly recommend Kyle Bull's YouTube channel. But I found his I guess review of the Nano Cortex, and he did a capture. So I was like, all right, well, let me use that capture. So I got the capture and I went on tour, and I had no real desire to not use my two heads when I got back, but man, that thing sounds so fucking good. I actually had people like as I was doing the tour, people like coming up to me going, hey, like what is that? What are you using? It sounds fucking good. So I saw I loaded his capture the first day I got it. And I'm still using it to today, and I see no reason, like
nice.
Why did change it? It sounds amazing. So
gear has changed. Gear has changed a lot through the years. In a lot of ways, it's definitely gotten better. I mean, even in regard of, like, you don't have to. It's got more streamlined. You don't have to hump around tons of stuff anymore, which is nice.
Yeah, and like sort of like because I do Alex Skolnick is a guy that I hold to high regard, and he had an article or Instagram post that he did right around that time, where he basically said that that he is convinced as well that that digital has caught up to tube heads, and when the guy like of his caliber, he's Testament guitarist for those that don't know. He's used a lot of great gear. The guy's done stadiums. I mean, the guy knows his stuff. So when he said that, I was kind of like, all right, let me dive in then. Like his word was good for me.
Yeah, let me think. Let's think what else I got. let's take a break, a quick sponsor break, and come back, and we'll start up with some questions from around the world, and we'll just throw everything in the pot, and we'll do another 20 minutes, okay?
Okay.
See you in a minute. What's happening? It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, and we are sponsored by, our guest today is Mike Milewski. Post your questions. Go deep, get weird. Let's have some fun. Not going to see you for another week. And if you're wondering who we are sponsored by blah, 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 and Mad Vintage. Mad Vintage buys, sells, collects band shirts, primarily hardcore. The DIY operation was started and is operated by a hardcore kid who just loves collecting and eventually got into the realm of vintage band shirts. They're always looking to buy out collections to either keep, sell, or trade. New shirts added daily at www.madvintage.com and posted on Instagram. Dig deep into that closet of crap. Reach out to them. Help me help you. Come on now, the Texas Silver Rush. It's a jewelry design firm and boutique store located in the birthplace of the Texas country music scene in Fredericksburg, Texas. They specialize in work with musicians in all music genres to design and create unique one-off pieces, as well as to style them for stage, album covers, promo photos, and social media exposure. Their client list includes Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Greg Rolle, Ringo Starr, and of course, Agnostic Front. Information on online sales is being taken at their Facebook and Instagram pages, and of course, www.texassilverrush.com. Hey, let's talk about some events that are coming up and that are going down this summer. Of course, this Sunday at the Bowery Electric, it is the Back to the New York Hardcore Roots series, free all ages Sunday matinee with Channel 3, Malavista, Chemical X, Chum Huffer, and Beast from the East. My birthday show up at the Brighton Music Hall with Tree, Miracle Blood, couple others. That's 1 week from Saturday. If you're in the New England area, come on up. Back at the Bowery Electric, free all ages Sunday matinee, Fury of 5, Shoot to 5, The Long Wait, featuring members of SSD and Slapshot, Jerry Body, and Thug It. Speaking of Thug It, Sunday, July 13th. Crazy Eddie's final show, Sunday, August 3rd, brought to you by the Bronx Historical Society at the Bowery Electric. Also, Brass Knuckle Brigade, the return of Enziguri, Four in the Chamber, and Gota Mentz. Come on now, Staten Island, let's go. Stigma, Incendiary Device, Fire is Murder, featuring Steve Gallo. The Blame, Sling Blades, featuring Stephen Messina and Idiot Box. Outdoors at Mother Pug Saloon. It is free Saturday, July 19th. Get up, get out, make it happen. Yo, we're heading out to Pennsylvania for the Upstage Music Fest. Tickets are on sale now. E-Town Concrete, Sworn Enemy, Mephistopheles, Brick by Brick, Incendiary Device, and others, August 9th. Yo, Demise is coming to play a free all-ages matinee at the Bowery on August 31st with Nailed to the Cross, with Layla from Concrete Ties, Cropsy, Jackknife Johnny, Concrete Burial, DJ Sid the Kid. Sunday, September 14th, 24/7 Spies, Rebelmatic Ache, Deadshot, and Fulano at the Bowery Electric. All shows free. Haven't really announced this one yet, but you hear it here first. Sunday, October 12th, Incendiary Device, Non-Residents, No Weapon, Overstand, Steel Toe Solution. And yo, we will see you out at Crash Fest in San Francisco. We are stoked to be playing with our friends in GBH and Noise. Looking forward to it. Oh, yeah. You heard? Stigma's turning 70. The big show with Agnostic Front is at Irving Plaza. Get tickets now. They are on sale along with Raw Brigade and Violent Way. And yo, the Holiday Slamboree has been announced. We are doing My War again with new singers, new songs, Butterbrain, Tree, Serial Poets, and World of Chaos. Lots going on. Lots and lots going on. Post up your questions for our guest, Mike Milewski. Come on, let's get down. Tell you what, Chris Golas, if you send me one more message on Instagram or on Facebook during the show, I will block you and I will never speak to you again. Okay? You've probably sent me 300 messages during this show. All right? I can multitask, but come on, bro. Help me help you. That said, I'll see you in Boston. All right, Gregory, come early so we can hang. Todd Hamilton, that's right. Hey, for those that are wondering and those that see on the show that's about to be announced with Incendiary Device on Sunday, October 12th, Overstand is coming in from Arizona to play, featuring Todd the Kid Hamilton, formerly of Warzone. So we are excited about that. That said, let's bring our guest back on. Your fucking cousin is relentless. He sent me 300 messages during the show. It's like, dude, what do you think that like that I'm there's two I'm cloned here? One guy's doing the show and one guy's sitting here answering all your messages. Good Lord, man.
Surprise! I mean, I've had him blocked for months.
I've had him blocked my whole life. I tell you what, though, while we're at it, talking about the Fat Boys earlier on in the show, here's a picture of me and Buffy from the Fat Boys back in the day. This is during I was working on the Fat Boys Wipeout video back in God knows when, and we were jamming out, me and Buffy. Buff passed many years ago. He was like the big dude in the Fat Boys. There was like a big dude, and a dude that was kind of big. He was the big dude, And, let's start, Joseph. I think this question kind of makes sense. As someone who was into early hip hop and thrash, what did Mike think of the crossovers like I'm the Man or Bring the Noise by Anthrax?
I thought that they were cool, but like a touch gimmicky as well. Like I didn't think that they were like good songs. I thought that it was like rap and metal, but it was never anything that for me where if I had a tape deck, I'd be rewind play. I listened to it like cool, but I don't think they really nailed it, but it was cool. I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I think personally, the probably the best, some of the best collaborations were on the Judgment Night soundtrack. I thought there was a couple things on there that were really cool.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, there was a couple really cool. Ray OK says, enjoying the show. Cheers, everyone. Well, thanks, Ray OK. Thanks for tuning in. Phil Irate says, want to thank Mike and Bulldoze for their early influence and for being such great dudes. Been an honor sharing the stage and having such a great relationship all these years. Just ran into Zach and Puda at the Tribeca Film Festival at the new Metallica doc.
Yeah. Thank you, Phil. And Irate is the shit. Anybody out there that hasn't checked out Irate, fucking, you're missing out.
Yeah. Okay, Chris, after torturing me for so long, of course, he just texted me again. You told me to. I did, bro, but within reason. You're killing me.
Hold on, Drew. What is your nickname for Chris on your phone?
What is my nickname?
Did you give him a nickname?
Chris Bulldoze?
Oh, okay. You don't have a funny nickname for him?
I got him. I had him in my phone as Chris Bulldoze.
Okay, like.
Hey,
Chris.
Cheeky. Hey, Cheeky. What's up, man? Yeah. He's asking me. He's been hawking me. Ask Mike about this. He says, "Don't worry, he won't get upset about it."
Yeah. So I did a nude photo shoot for Train of Thought.
Is that right?
Yeah. Who gave you that photo again?
Your cousin.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that he saved it.
You did a nude photo shoot for Train of Thought?
Yeah. There might have been alcohol involved, but I mean, like nude. So first of all, it's artistic. Okay, it's not pornography. I mean, like that's a work of art. I look like the Beast from like some kind of weird movie, like the final form of some kind of boss. there I am.
Hey, listen, not everybody can get up there and let it fly, you know.
Yeah, so there was a show that we played. It was a Rutgers frat party that we did.
Oh yes, alcohol was involved.
Yes. So it was E-Town Concrete, New Jersey Bloodline. I think maybe Strength 691, Train of Thought. I forget who else, but I remember towards the end of the night there was we were all just drinking, and yeah, there we go. Yeah, we were all drunk, and I don't really remember, but people were telling me like I was like in my underwear running around drinking beer and like spilling beer on people. So you know, that's cool.
Yeah, that makes sense. This is an interesting. Just while we're here, Sean McNally sent. Now, this is going back to the Biohazard Punishment video. Sean McNally sent me this picture and said, let's see what he said here. He said, yo, props to Kev for sporting one of the rare cringe hoodies in the Punishment video. He bought one at Biohazard's first Boston shows that I booked. I sent him the still, and he said it was one of his favorites because it was high quality. Rest in peace, Kev. Okay. Kev rocking the cringe hoodie in the Biohazard Punishment video.
Funny thing is, like nobody would ever tell Kevin that he was rocking a cringe hoodie back then.
Yeah. Is there anything while we're here? Is there any perspective that you could give us on Kev? Maybe something that people don't know, maybe a fond memory or anything of Kev?
So Kev definitely had like he was very protective of people that he liked, and a lot of times like to get on his good side you'd have to kind of like deal with his bad side first. But if you were able to like he was one of the guys that if you push and you push back to a certain extent, depending on how you push back, like he would respect that, you know what I mean? And a lot of times, like once he liked you, and he basically would look out for you. Like he was really good at looking out for people. Once his inner circle, if anybody like fucked with anybody, like he had just no hesitation. He would just knock people out. And Kevin was. I mean, I've never seen another human being again since him. But I mean, this guy would just knocking people out left and right. It didn't matter if it was a 1-on-1, 3-on-1, 5-on-1. There'll be 5 people laying on the floor. I mean, the guy was just unbelievable with his power and speed.
Was there any point, like when you guys first fell in with this guy early on, that you were like, "What have I got myself into?"
Yeah, there was an incident where somebody like he was driving, somebody cut him off. He got out the car, pulled out a screwdriver, like impaled the dude's hand through the car door, then punched the guy, knocked him out, then took the screwdriver, got back in the car and just continued driving. And it was kind of like this was like a little into it, and we're kind of like, yeah, okay, this guy might be kind of fucking crazy.
That was early on.
Yeah. And ultimately, like that's like that kind of led to why we parted ways. Because I mean, she was just too fucking crazy sometimes. We're just like, we're gonna end up getting killed. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. Somebody mentioned that Punishment video was the early '90s New York hardcore roll call, and it just so happens I have this on my desktop because somebody asked me if they could use it in a book or something. So I dug it out for them and sent it to them. So it was on my desktop. But yeah, I was actually and it's funny because it made me look at it for a couple minutes and just sort of look at the people that are in this thing, and it's just like, wow, there's a lot going on here, and there's probably a lot more going on here that a lot of people may not even recognize or know. Like on the top, on the right, second in, that's Zowie, who played in Leeway and Circus of Power. He's in this thing. I mean, there's Kev up top next to Saab. Of course, Minus next to Ezak, Freddie Madball, Roger, Narc, me and Paris in front. It's pretty wild. And I have the whole roll of film. That there's like 10 outtakes of that. So they'll probably see the light of day. Post your questions. Let's see what else we got.
So one thing that I guess nobody really knows, but for the Biohazard Slam video, me and Zach are actually in it as well.
Is that right?
Yeah, and we were young, so.
The Biohazard Slam live footage we shot at the Academy.
Yeah, I was there. I was on stage.
Yeah, it was. That was a hell of a day, man.
Yeah, that was a fun show.
Oh God, so adventurous to be young, Yeah. Lori Dawn asks, Mike, can you clone Drew?
I can try.
Right. Tell us about now all those. Hey, hi. Are you real or are you a clone? Is that young person a clone or is that
no? It's my youngest son.
Yeah. Tell us about what's with all the microscopes and everything.
Yeah. So I know you guys are gonna think this sounds nuts, but just bear with me here. Yep. So I went to college for computer science, mathematics, that kind of stuff. Nothing chemistry related or nothing biology related. But I was always a fan of like Jurassic Park. One day I was watching a show about basically trying to clone dinosaurs from blood, like in an amber, kind of like Jurassic Park. And they were saying how that's not possible because after like about 1 million years, the DNA just gets degraded, whatever. But they were saying how chickens are descendants of dinosaurs, and that there's a way possibly that using turning stuff on that's not on anymore in the DNA of a chicken, that we should be able to work backwards and have a dinosaur that way because all the information is still there. It just turned off.
Uh-huh.
So the show that I was watching, some guy had like a row of eggs, chicken eggs, where he would put in like some sort of chemical that would like target specific genes to turn them on.
Uh-huh.
And what they were able to do was like one gene when they turned it on, the chicken grew like these big fangs, okay. Another gene that they were able to turn on, the chicken grew like a really long tail, like a lizard, looking kind of like what a T-Rex would look like. And I was just like so fascinated by that, and I realized I knew nothing about it. Like I literally knew nothing about this topic, but I was like, I wanted to learn about it. So I decided that I needed to give myself like some sort of goal where I would be forced to learn as much as I can on this topic. So I decided, and I knew nothing about this. I was like, I'm going to try to clone my cat. I'm just going to see how far I could get. That was like, and I knew I probably wouldn't get there because I just knew nothing about it. But I figured that was like a good goal to set to clone my cat. So I set out to do it. I bought biology books. I read biology books cover to cover. I was doing like the MIT biology courses. Just all the information I could possibly get. I was taking in, and I started putting together my my lab. And I also joined. I thought that you need microscopes to do this kind of stuff because any show that you watch, everybody has microscopes, right? So I don't know. I didn't know. So I joined the New York Microscopical Society. It's like an organization that goes way back, but they're right around the corner, close to me. So I joined them. They had a really cool like a 2-month class on just learning everything about microscopes. So the more I learned, the more I was like, wow, this is really fucking cool shit. So I just kind of like from my quest of trying to learn how to learning about biology to the point where I could understand what it means to try to clone an animal. I kind of picked up a hobby of microscopes, and it's really cool. And now, by the way, so the problem that I ran into with the cat cloning, which now knowing what I know, I mean, I've read multiple books cover to cover. I think it's actually quite doable. I think a lot of it just comes down to actually the equipment that's once if you have the right equipment, you can do it basically.
Do you think cloning a human is unethical?
Honestly, if I could clone myself, I'd fucking hang out myself fucking all day, all night. I'd have the fucking best time. I'd fucking go out to bars. I'd have the best. I'd laugh at all my jokes. I would laugh at all my clones jokes. I mean, it would be the best fucking time.
JJ says, if you clone a cat, I'll adopt it.
Yeah.
Let's bring Lori back on. Your thoughts, being being a scientist and a cat lover yourself?
So cloning cats is possible, you know. You just need, I think it's nuclear transfer. So you need a somatic cell that's pluripotent, and then you can clone animals like that. You need a lot more lab equipment than
let me ask. I guess I'm thinking this whole thing is so far-fetched, but it's not. They cloned Dolly the sheep, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's not that far-fetched. If you clone a sheep,
I know about Dolly.
Yeah.
I know about Dolly. So I was like, if they could do it, I could do it. That was my thought.
Right. Yeah. So they can clone them, and you know, they're doing a lot of that. They're doing a lot of gene editing. There's a lot of stuff going on that's a little bit scary and needs to be very, very regulated.
Now the question is, if you could clone me, then I could have somebody else to deal with your cousin when we do these friggin' shows, to sit here and deal with him sending me 300 messages per show, so I could actually be on the screen the whole time.
Well, the thing is, technically we do have like human clones in the world. They're called twins, you know?
Right.
So twins that, are from the same, egg. But the thing is, are those two people exactly alike, you know? So would a clone of Drew be exactly alike? Would he, like, we don't know, how much of what you do is genetic and how much of what you do is, it's like nature versus nurture. So would he be the same?
DJ Majestic said, didn't they just clone some dire wolves? I think I saw something about that. I didn't know if they were cloning them, but
I think they spliced them with some wolf DNA as well.
Right. New York, welcome to the New York Hard Clone Show.
Yeah, so let me tell you where this all kind of fell apart for me, because I did learn a lot. I mean, I'm really happy that I went on that journey, because I could actually talk to people who are biologists that work in the genetic sort of industries, and I basically, unless they get really deep down into the technical stuff, but generally I can follow along with people and shows or whatever. Like I could watch a show. And they'll like a movie plot, and they'll have something. They'll talk about genetics. I'm like, oh no, that's wrong. Like I could do that now. But so what happened was, in order to clone a cat, you need a donor cat. So you have to basically extract the egg cells from the cat, and then you'd use that to implant the DNA in there or whatever, and then the cat will carry the infant or whatever, the baby to term.
Right. Yeah. It's not just you don't bring it to term in a petri dish.
Yeah, no. You need an actual
You need an egg, and then you need to get an egg out, and then you have to get an embryo put back in.
Yeah.
Oh, so Dolly the sheep, actually another sheep gave birth to Dolly.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I never really thought that through.
So, I mean, it's weird. They have done some experiments in petri dishes where they get these embryoid bodies that are really, really freaky. But no, you basically you need some kind of gestational organism.
Volpia MX says, good topic. You could clone whole scenes. I'm not sure, Oh, okay. JJ says, I would clone Stigma first. Okay.
Hey, why not?
Yeah, no, Stigma's a good one. I would clone Stigma, and there's a couple out there that there should be. I mean, there should be like a couple Vinny Stigmas running around. I mean, that like actually each scene should have a Vinny Stigma. Like, you know, I think I want to get behind this and sort of maybe there's a buck to be made. I could license
Cloning.
stigmas. No, like if we had like 300 stigmas, I'd be like, yo, you know, Richmond, Virginia, you want a stigma? It's like $50 a month, like a franchise.
Listen, if somebody made this to a movie, I'd watch the movie immediately. This is a good.
There's a script in here somewhere, Drew. I mean, come on.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
There's only a movie maker here somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So no, but I think this is extremely impressive. You know, just as somebody who did study biochemistry, just the fact that you've taken this topic up on your own and was able to learn so much. You know, because I mean, like I sat in the classroom for 4 years and I know how extremely difficult it is. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely put my mind to it. But then, like I said, so I had to stop because like my red line was like, I'm not hurting anything. You know, because I love animals.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I understand. Yeah.
And the other thing was like, you know, nobody, I would have to like, I guess see a vet or somebody like that. And I just, you know, what am I going to do? Like walk into a vet's office with a cryo tank under one arm, a cat carrier in the other. Like, hey, let me talk to the vet. So they'll kick me out.
Maybe one day you'll be able to clone your pets. So
you know, South Korea, there's actually a company that does that in South Korea.
Yeah.
Clone your pets.
Sure.
Or like sometimes the pets come out different colors. They come out like different, like it's like.
Huh. Yeah, that's right. I saw that. That's right. Yeah, I saw that. A company in Korea that does that. I did. I saw that. That's crazy. All right. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I'm glad we listen. Welcome to the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Next week we get into nuclear fission, and beyond that, the
next week we will try to send a rocket to the moon.
Was it nuclear fission?
Yeah.
Listen, enough with stigma and all that agnostic front and all that CBGB's crap. Next week we will be talking about, you know. All right, cool. All right, Lori, thanks.
Bye.
Thanks, Lori.
Where were we? we do it all.
Yeah.
We do it all here on the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Hey, I got who just sent this to me? Anthony Palladino just sent me on Facebook.
Shout out IDK.
Yeah, he just said. What did he say? Some classic Jersey shows with Train of Thought. He sent me a couple flyers, including this one from Middlesex County College. Return of the Cavity Creeps, Murphy's Law, IDK, Ensign, which is funny because Tim from Ensign's is sending me messages while the show's going on too. Train of Thought and Handful of Dust.
You need a clone, man. I'm telling you.
Seriously, man. I'd love a clone, man. He also sent me this great. This is great, and thank you for sending this to me. This is great. The Pipeline. Some ad strips from the Pipeline. Look at this. What's going on at the Pipeline in Newark, New Jersey? You know?
Oh yeah. Missed that place.
Yeah, that was it. That was a pretty cool place. You know? Some great shows.
You know, I think that I'm not sure, but I think that E-Town Concrete show, I don't think that was their first show, but that was like really early on in when it may started, right around that time.
For E-Town?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's that Dog Eat Dog New Jersey Bloodline show. Was that the first time Bulldoze played a couple songs that they were talking about?
Where do you see that one?
On the right.
Yeah.
On the right.
Nah, because that first show was October 2nd in '93.
I always thought it was. I always thought it was interesting that Kev
was that Studio One? That was at Studio One. This is a Pipeline. Sorry.
I always thought it was interesting that Kev was such a big Dog Eat Dog fan.
Yeah, he had it tattooed on his stomach. You
He
actually,
loved
that.
that.
That's
He
yeah.
loved that. He loved that band.
Dude, I was actually just watching a videotape of Doggy Dog. Man, they were so amazing. I mean, they are amazing, but like,
Yeah.
but back then they were like probably like one of the best hardcore bands around in like the '91 era.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
They
Well,
were
I'm
great.
including Biohazard leeway, but I mean, like, but they were like like New Jersey, like they were.
For sure. And I remember some of those Studio One shows, like Dog Eat Dog, Biohazard, Life of Agony. Like those shows were banging. They were packed.
Yeah, yeah.
You know. Let me see. Let's talk about. There's some upcoming. What you got? Let's start with like this question. Like, what is the future looking like, Mike? What do you got going on? And I'll try to get up some of these flyers.
Well, the future, well, post COVID, it seems like the hardcore scene has just come back with a vengeance. Like I started noticing after COVID that like just a lot of shows were getting sold out, which I don't really recall that really happening in like the I mean that definitely wasn't really happening in like the early 2000s, mid 2000s, the teens. But after COVID, like I remember just seeing like so many shows were sold out, and I was kind of like, wow, what's going on? And so like there really is, from what I could tell, because I love going to shows. I'm always trying to go to as many shows as I can. There really seems to be like a newfound I guess discovery of like a lot of younger kids are discovering hardcore and really just enjoying like the crowd participation part of it and just like the rawness of it. And like that's something that just has never changed. You know what I mean? Like one of the things that brought me to hardcore was like just the fact that you're able to jump on stage, you're able to grab the mic, you're able to sing along, and that's actually encouraged. Like people aren't like getting mad at you for like jumping on stage. You know what I mean? As with other styles of music. So I think like that sort of ability to kind of just do that with bands you like or songs that you like, they were able to really just kind of just be part of the music. Like you could actually just grab the mic and sing and jump or whatever. I think that's bringing a lot of kids, and I think that's really good because that makes bands want to play. And so like a lot of my former bands, like we're playing again because like it just seems like there's an appetite for it, which is good. So the future holds a lot more songs, new songs, more shows. Seeing like some of the old bands that the people like come back. I think that's a good thing.
Is this so? Homicidal's playing like what is that in a week in Chicago?
Yeah, next week. So the Rumble Fest is happening in Chicago.
And is Demi playing drums?
Yeah, yes,
wow.
He is.
How about that?
Yeah,
that's it. Let's go through some of these flyers. So wow. I mean, you're not kidding. Like each one of your bands is playing, and I know we're really kind of skipping around here, but and this one's happening even sooner in
Saturday.
This is in Rutherford, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And this is Hold My Own is playing with Incendiary.
Yep. Incendiary, Never Ending Game, Gridiron, Defy You, Do Flame. It's gonna be a banger show. I hope to see my New Jersey, New York people, and Connecticut and Philly, tri-state hardcore people there.
Yeah, at the I'm not familiar with the Black Box.
Yeah, it's a really nice venue.
Cool.
And I want people to fuck shit up.
Fuck this place up.
But don't destroy the venue. Just destroy each other.
Yeah, destroy each other, but don't get too hurt to the point where someone might need an ambulance or need medical attention, right?
Yeah, destroy each other gently.
Yeah, right.
With love.
With love, yeah. Here's another one. This is you're doing a lot of 3 different bands and you're playing all over the place. Look at the internet acting weird today. This is Hold My Own, and this is in where is this? Oh, in Evanston, Indiana.
Yeah, Evansville, Indiana. That's gonna be a good one.
Evansville, Indiana.
Evansville,
excuse me. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's gonna be a banger.
Right.
I can't wait for that. And I expect people in Evansville, Indiana, to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Fuck this place up.
Fuck this place up. Yeah. 100%. And let me get to some of the Bulldoze stuff. A couple of Bulldoze shows coming up. I mean, what is I'm a little explain, because I know there's the Hellfest that's in the UK, right?
Yeah, so
and then there's this Hellfest in Jersey, right?
yeah, so I don't really know exactly what's going on with the Hellfest name. Like I'm just not the person to really talk on it because I just don't know. But the Hellfest used to happen in there was Truskill. Shout out to Josh Truskill. So Hellfest used to happen in the U.S. Like he used to do it in the early 2000s. Then there was the issue where some kind of riot broke out. I think the Rex, I don't know if it was the Rexplex almost got burnt down too or something. Then it was the riot went down for Bad Luck 13. But I think that was like the last Hellfest that happened. Like I'm not exactly sure if that was the cause or what the history is. But after that stopped, I think that was the last Hellfest show in this area. In like I forget what year, but it was years ago. Then there was a Hellfest happening in Europe. So I don't know if there's something about the name that they can't call it Hellfest, or I don't know what that is. But I'm sure somebody that knows will maybe comment and clear up the whole name thing. Yeah, Rexplex. Yeah, that was I think they tried burning down the place, the Bad Luck 13. So that was great. Shout out to anybody that was at that show. Big
wow. That's
they had a big head too.
Let me see what other Bulldoze stuff is coming up. Well, you're playing up in Albany. I see that.
Yeah, I'm doing Cleveland. I think
is this Cleveland? Is this one Cleveland? I can't tell. Here, put this one up.
Yeah, somebody mentioned it's got the Summer of Hate kind of vibes. Summer of Hate was a great little fest that was going on in Cleveland. Maybe it's still going on, but I don't know. Like it was happening for a while, then it wasn't, and maybe it is again. I'm not really clear. Maybe somebody knows, but if you could if it is happening and you guys see the Summer of Hate show, definitely want to attend those. Those are great. But this Cleveland show definitely has the vibe, that sort of vibe. And Cleveland is a great city for hardcore too. Like
yeah.
Cleveland people, they don't fuck around.
Is this? Oh, this is Detroit. Bulldoze in Detroit.
No, that's Cleveland. It's Detroit Ave.
Oh, that's the Cleveland one. Okay, got it. Todd Hamilton asks, sorry, the internet is things are really weird. It's like everything's moving really weird. Todd Hamilton asks, hey, what's up, Mike? Is that double cut behind you a Heritage?
No, those are those are like so I got an LTD over there, and I have two Agile guitars. One of them I bought at a flea market for $70, the red one. And so I thought it was gonna be. I saw a lefty guitar at a flea market for like $70. I was like, well, I got to buy it. You know what I mean? Like, don't ever come across them. And so I bought it, and I'm playing it, and I was like, this guitar really, really feels fucking nice. Like, it actually plays nice. It sounds nice. The action is good. I mean, it's actually like a nice guitar. So I looked into those guitars, and they're like really cheap. So the other one, the Sunburst one, I bought for like $300 with a case. And I filled in for Truth and Rights with Eddie Leeway, rest in peace, Eddie. And I didn't want to fly with my PRS, so I got that guitar instead. And it's actually really great guitars. What I've learned since then is there was a factory in South Korea. Now, I could be wrong. This is what people told me, but this is what multiple people have kind of gave me this information. But there was a factory in South Korea that made guitars. They made like the LTDs, they made the Schecters, And I guess on off hours they make the Agile guitars and whatever other kind of brands. And like they're all like really good guitars. Like the day of a cheap guitar being a bad guitar, I think are kind of not the case anymore.
Yeah.
It's like these like $300 guitars. I mean they're great. I mean they really are great.
Yeah. This where's my Ibanez? I bought my wife an Ibanez. Like it was, I don't know how much it was. I don't think it was very expensive, and I play it all the time, and it fucking sounds great. And you know what? It stays in tune.
Yeah. Yeah. Same with like the LTD. I mean I've always wanted like a lefty Les Paul, but there's no way I'm going to spend that kind of money, because I mean like the thing that really got me was like these $300 guitars were almost as good as my PRS. I mean the PRS, maybe I'm biased because I spent like $3,000 on it. I don't know, but they're definitely like right up there with that quality.
Yeah.
And then if there's a difference, I mean the difference is small. So,
yeah, it's like I said, I'm playing this cheap Ibanez, and it stays in tune, and I don't want. And I'm playing with somebody who's plays like some vintage Gibson, and the friggin' thing stays in tune for about 30 seconds. It's wild. Here's a Bulldoze show. What is going on? This is up in Albany, correct?
Yes.
Up at Mike Valente's Empire Underground.
Yep. Shout out Brick by Brick.
Yeah. Yep. And who asked when we're
Brigade.
Where did I see that? Hold on. Somebody was asking if we're getting up to Albany again, but I don't think that's happening. Where did I just see that? Oh, here. Stefan. Hey, what's up, Drew? When's ID playing Albany again? Great interview. Well, thank you. We had a show and we had something booked and we had to cancel it, but we'll get back up to Albany. I think I know it's not that close. We just booked Connecticut again. So there you go. There you go. That said, I think we covered a lot. Let me see if there's anything else. I like this. I like what's going on here. This is an early show. I guess, is this, God damn. Train of thought. This is, I like what's going on here with the bleach blonde hair.
Oh no, that was Bulldoze. I think I was like.
Is this early Bulldoze?
Oh yeah, I was like 14.
Is this why you said Kevin kind of like, what would Kevin want to do with us? We were a bunch of us scrawny kids, right?
Yeah. Barely knew how to play our instruments too.
Yeah.
But we did all right.
What are you playing there?
That is an Ibanez, I guess EX. That was probably the best guitar I was able to find at that point in time.
Right.
The lefty wise, because I mean, I had a thing where I did not want to use a Stratocaster. So I was just so sick of just seeing Fender Stratocasters every time I went to the store.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, I'm sorry, but for the most part, Strats don't work in hardcore and heavy music for the most part. I know people are going to call me on it, but at least in my band, no one's playing a Strat in my band, in the band I'm in.
Yeah, I just hated Strats for a while. I mean, nowadays, I mean, I kind of warmed up to them again. Because really, it's just a guitar. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yo, Mike, Ball Kick asks, when are you hitting up Europe, and with which band?
I think I should be in Europe sometime this year. I don't know if I'm able to really talk about it yet, so I'm not going to mention what band or where or what. But be on the lookout, and it should be in December it
Cool.
happens.
Right on. Very good. IDK says you got to throw humbuckers in strats. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. That said, hey, let's get something to eat. Thank you so much. That was really fun, Mike. I really enjoyed having you on, and we it was really easy and fun. Is there anybody you'd like to thank? Is there anybody you like to shout out?
Well, I definitely want to shout out Bayshore Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Hazlet, New Jersey. Anybody that's in the area, Coach Joe is awesome. So come and roll around, give aggressive hugs to people. I got to shout out my all my brothers and bands. Zach, Puda, Chris, Ray, Anshit, Kush, Sergio, Greg. Got to mention the takedown events doing the shows in Jersey. Silence equals death. Shout out to those guys. And thank you all, everybody that's hung out with us today, and your comments. I'm gonna have to go back and reread these comments because they were kind of scrolling, so I couldn't really read them. But Drew, I really appreciate. Also BJ, Evan, Travis, my brothers in Zero Trust. But Drew, thank you for having me. I really appreciate the time and the ability to have talk to you. And I really appreciate it. Thank you for the Josh. Thank you for the trading card. I think that's super awesome. I'm very honored. So thank you.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. Your cousin just sent me this. So there you go, everybody.
So Drew, did we fuck this place up or what?
Yeah.
Fuck shit up.
Fuck this place. You know what the variation is? Fuck this place up now. That one. Fuck this place up now.
I should mention that Kevin loves saying that, but he meant actually like destroy the place. And he would be like, he'd say, make these bouncers earn their $10 an hour. he just wanted to fucking. He just really wanted the shit to go down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was
trying to egg it on. It's like, fuck this place, fuck the sound guy. Which when he said that one time, I was like, bro, did he just say that? Like, don't fuck with the sound guy.
Hey, Kate, what's up? I saw you in that picture that I posted previously in the show from Bulldoze. Good to see you, Kate. Nice to know you're out there. Oh, hey, Josh just made that. Oh, that's funny. Right on. Cool. Well, thanks, man.
Thank you all for joining us.
Yeah, and I look forward to seeing you guys play soon.
All
right, take care.
All right. Bye, guys.
All right. Another one in the books. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Our guest today was Mike Milewski. When's the Connecticut show? We just got booked with Concrete Ties up in Connecticut in November. I'm looking at the calendar. It's Saturday, November 22nd up at Cherry Street Station. Concrete Ties, Incendiary Device, and a couple others. It's not announced yet, but don't beat up the sound guy. Remember that when sound guys there was an era where sound guys would just get beat up constantly, Anyway, thanks a lot, everybody. That was a great show. Hopefully we'll see you at the Bowery Electric on Sunday with Channel 3, Malavista, Chemical X, Chumhuffer, and Beast from the East. If not, we'll see you back here 1 week from today with J-Way of Bayway. So, way to go. Tell your loved ones that you love them. I'm sorry that the show was so herky-jerky today. I do not understand why. But, we don't have to know everything and understand everything in this life. Until next time, do good things, and good things will come.
Conditioned by indoctrination, conditioned by society. You're a victim of the digital age, a 21st century casualty. Open your eyes.